Who's this? This book was a wild time. I'd tell you that for free. Hello and welcome back to another video. It's me, Alice, and if you're new here, we talk about books, go on chats. Sometimes we might go on the odd tangent, but you know, we try to keep it straight to the point, alright? As you can see, we're already going on a tangent. We do vlogs, car vlogs, a little bit of everything, lifestyle, you know. So if that's something that's interesting to you, consider hitting that subscribe button and welcome on into the family. We're all about try before you buy on this channel. So, you know, go watch some of the other videos, shop around a little bit, hit that subscribe button, and you know, it is free, so you can unsubscribe at any time. Please don't. But you know, that's okay. It's an option. Give it a go. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. So let's get on with today's video. Today we're going to be talking about Hooked. That's right, I finished this book. I'm back on it, babes. I'm off the reading slump and I'm back. She's back. This book was wild, I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure what I was expecting when I came into this, but it was definitely wild. Now, what's my thoughts? Let me know if you've read this in the comments down below and we can chat. Tell me what your opinions are on it. I'm not sure. I definitely read it fast and I definitely was, you know, let's go and keep going. And I did like that the chapters for the most part were quite short. It made it quite easy to be like, okay, right, one more chapter and I'll go to bed, rather than having this 30-page chapter where it's like tiny writing. So I did very much appreciate that. Sorry if you really like this book. This perhaps might not be the video for you. Now, I didn't hate this book, but definitely isn't one of my favorites, but that's okay. That's okay. Honestly, I think it's just so wild. That's why I'm going. It's so wild that I'm not even sure how we got there. Do you know what I mean? That kind of vibe. So I gave this book a 4 out of 10, which would be 2 stars. I gave 2 stars on Goodreads. Now, there were some things I liked in there that it tried to sort of explore, and a couple of the messages, you know, about why people act the way they act, and also about sort of dealing with things and not kind of letting them pent up and explode, you know, that kind of thing. You know, both the main characters have issues that are unresolved in their personal life, things that have happened to them or ways they have felt. So I guess that was kind of good. I will say, please read the trigger warnings, as we spoke about before. She does tell you to go in blind. I would say do not. There is a lot of violence, some graphic scenes in both the naughty way and the other way. I would recommend very much reading the trigger warning. I always say you should. Keep going. Let's be safe out there, people. Safe readers are happy readers. In terms of spice, this book was quite spicy. It probably wasn't the spiciest book I've ever read, but it was definitely spicy. There were quite a few scenes in there that were a bit naughty. They were great. They weren't the best. If I'm being honest, they were a bit Wattpaddy, a bit cringy, but that's okay, because I feel like, and there were definitely moments that I was like, okay, right, that's clever, that's cool, that's alright how she's done that. But to be honest, I should have known what to expect though, because the concept is something that you would find on Wattpad, in terms of, obviously this is a fully published book and she's taken the whole story, she's made it, I think it's a fractured fairy tale. She's taken things from a fairy tale, made her own story, and that's great. And I do appreciate the step up. I can see the step up from a Wattpad story, and I think she's done really well to run with that concept. I just think for me there were some things that were just a bit like, oh, do you know what I mean? You know, when you kind of read it and you think, oh, why did you say that? Why did you do that? I just had a few of those moments, which wasn't how I necessarily thought I was going to react. I thought I was just going to be giggling the whole way through this book. And, you know, whilst you have a couple little giggles here and there, it was particularly more, sounds really big, particularly a bit more cringy, I'll be honest. Would I recommend this book? Yes, but only to certain readers. So readers that like dark romance or Wattpad style of books, or maybe something that it's got deep themes, but it was an easy read, if that makes sense. It wasn't an easy read in terms of lightheartedness or what the themes were actually about, but the book itself was easy to read. Does that make sense? You know, if you like that kind of stuff. Again, read the trigger warnings, please. But I would recommend it to people who like that sort of book. But I don't think I'd recommend it to everyone. I don't think I'd go to one of my friends and be like, oh my god, you have to read this book, take it from me, read it now. I'm not sure I've quite got that vibe with it. Also, I feel like I need to apologise. I am in my pyjamas. But I just think this t-shirt is so cute. And honestly, if you didn't know it was pyjamas because you haven't watched other videos on this channel, welcome, then it just looks like a cool t-shirt. So, and we love a bit of Star Wars, so there we go, Mr. Grogu himself. Now, I haven't actually constructed a full review. You know how I normally read you out my review when I talk about books, because I don't really know how I fully feel about this book. I don't really know how to put into words the feelings I have for this book, because they're not negative as such, but they're not positive either. They're kind of very much in the middle, and I just feel like I'm glad I read this book. It was definitely one to get me out of a reading slump, in terms of it was quick and easy to read. Obviously, like I said, theme's not easy, book easy to read, so it was quite easy to just devour, get through. And now I do feel like it has brought back that, yes, I love it when I read a book in this amount of time, etc. So I feel like it has definitely reinvigorated my reading, got me out that slump, which I'm very much excited about. I think I read it over the last few days. I don't know exactly how many. I didn't have too much time to read, but I definitely made more time to read in the evening just to finish this book. So, I mean, that's a good sign. That's got to count for something. I feel like the characters themselves, I didn't mind so much. I feel like everyone had their place, everyone had their importance, and I think it was quite good. I did guess the plot twists. Actually, I didn't fully guess one. I kind of was like, oh, this character's a bit sus, but maybe it's fine. So that was good. That was a good reveal. But the other one, I was kind of like, oh, yeah, I saw this coming. And then the one thing I would say that actually I think impacted the score the most, so not even really, you know, I don't mind reading something that's a little bit cringy or reading something that's a little bit guilty pleasure. That's I'm here for it, you know. I always say this. Bridgerton, I mean, is better written than this book, but it still has a guilty pleasure element about it, and I'm here for it. I love that, alright? Don't get me wrong. But I just feel like sometimes there were bits in the book that were like a little bit rushed, maybe, that could have gone into a little bit more detail. For example, I feel like we needed a little bit more with the character Rue in certain ways. I don't know exactly what we would have had, but I feel like we needed to care for him a little bit more than we did at that point. If you've read the book, you know, I'm trying not to spoil. And also, I feel like the last sort of dramatic scene, one, I did guess the plot twist, but I feel like it was over too quickly. Do you know what I mean? If you read this book, maybe you'll understand. But I was expecting, I was like, right, we're in this now, we're knuckling down, we're going through, we're like, yes, 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 yes. This is where it's all going to go to drama. This person's bleeding, this person's doing that, this person's... Do you know what I mean? Wild, exciting times. And I was just expecting a little bit more, and then it was over, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess we move on to the final chapter. What do you think? What do you think? Also, there were a few characters in there that did kind of annoy me, but actually on the whole though, the characters weren't too annoying, if that makes sense. Like sometimes in this style of book, some of the characters can be put in there to consistently kind of cause things and stuff which make an annoyance, but I think that for the most part I didn't feel that. There was a couple of moments where I was like, oh come on James, you're being stupid. Like it was very obvious to the reader, and that the author was trying to kind of play it off, and that's how I knew the plot twists were coming. You know, other than that, I actually thought the characters were alright, which is very unlike me. Normally there's someone I don't like or whatever. The nickname Darling, I mean, it's not tragic. I feel like it was a little bit like, oh, he's British, so therefore he's going to say darling. You know what I mean? But I'm not against it. It's better than Rika anyway. Yeah, at least you didn't call it like Wens or Wenny. You know what? On the whole, this was a decent book. Not my favourite book ever. It's not the highest rated book I've ever read. But it definitely helped me get out of a reading slump. And, you know, it was a vibe. It was something different to what I've read. I definitely want to read the other parts. I think I have 3 more. I think there are more, but I have 3 more books in this series. Maybe there's 6 now. I have 4. Got it in a little set from the works. Actually insane value. So, you know, you gotta pick these things up when you find them. I think that's all I've got to say on this for now. If you want a more in-depth review where I talk about all of the themes and all of the characters in depth, let me know. Would you like that for this book? Drop me a comment down below. Also, It Ends With Us comes out soon, and I haven't read it. I'm not a big Coho fan. So, what do we think? Should I read that? Should I go see the film? You let me know. Are we Colleen Hoover fans out there? I personally am not, but I'm happy to try and be dissuaded from that opinion. So let me know. Anyway, I hope this video made some kind of coherent sense. Basically, we had a fun time, and sometimes that's all you can ask for, you know? So without further ado, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Have you? Thank you very much, and as always, until the next one, I'll see you then. Bye! Oh, hair's getting long now, isn't it?